I have the new AceMagic Kron Mini K1 Mini PC. I also have an old Dodge truck that's in desperate need of an upgrade. I'm going to take the new AceMagic K1 along with this 12.1-inch touchscreen monitor and give my truck a much needed upgrade. Let's get into it. Now, AceMagic did send me the K1 for review. The monitor and all other accessories that I'll be using today I did purchase with my own money. Let's check out the specs of the Mini K1, start it up, do a little prep work, and then we're going to go put it in my truck. Let's see what's in the box. Right. We have the unit itself, a user manual, some shipping foam. We have the power brick, the power cable, an included HDMI cable, and a mounting bracket, which comes in handy for mounting. Feels nice and solid to the hand. On the back of the unit, we have an HDMI 2.0, a display port, the DC-in, a 1 gigabit LAN, and 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports. Nothing on either side. On the front, we have a Type-C port with display capabilities, and we have 2 more USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports, an audio jack, and the power button. Let's talk about performance. Under the hood, this compact machine is equipped with an Intel Core i5-12600H processor featuring 12 cores and 16 threads. It has a base frequency of 2.7 GHz, but it can turbo boost all the way up to 4.5 GHz to handle heavy workloads without breaking a sweat. Out of the box, it comes with 16 gigs of DDR4 memory and a fast 512 GB PCIe SSD, making it incredibly snappy, but the best part, it offers flexible expansion. You can upgrade the dual channel memory up to 64 GB, and you can add a 2.5-inch SSD to expand your storage capacity up to 4 TB. If you're a multitasker, a content creator, or a gamer, you'll love the display capabilities. The AceMagic K1 allows you to dominate your workspace by supporting 3 4K displays, so you can hook up 3 displays at once by using the HDMI port, the display port, and this front C-type port for 3 monitors. Speaking of connectivity, this micro PC is fully loaded. As we discussed earlier, it features a generous 6 USB 3.0 ports. I would have liked to have seen more Type-C ports on this unit, but hey, it is what it is. Alongside a 1 gigabit LAN port for lag-free video calls and online gaming. For wireless connections, it has Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2. I got a lot of comments about a previous review I did on a mini PC with people worrying about cooling and noise. And I will tell you, these are not the same mini PCs that you had at work many years ago. The technologies came a long way. They are super quiet and excellent on cooling. AceMagic engineered this with a low noise cooling system that stays icy cool under pressure, according to them, while operating silently, making it perfect for late night gaming or quiet office environments. We'll check that out for sure, see how quiet it really is. Let's go ahead and get it hooked up. I'm gonna boot it up, check it out, and then we're gonna go put this in my old truck. Let's go. All right, we have the AceMagic hooked up. I've got it hooked up to this little monitor here. We are at the initial setup. We'll do a quick run through and then we'll test out the system. I'm gonna go ahead and continue in English. Yes for my country. Yes for my keyboard layout. Gonna skip a second layout. And because this is Windows 11 Pro, I have the option to say I don't have internet, so I can bypass the Microsoft account. Accept my license agreement. Enter a name. Skip the password. Getting things ready for you. And we are in Windows 11. I'm gonna go over here to settings. Let's go to system. We'll jump down here to about. Make sure all of our specs match up. We have the i5-12600H. We have 16 gigs of RAM installed. And we have Windows 11 Pro 24H2. We'll do some updates here in a minute. Let's go check out our product activation, and activation state is active, so we have a good license. So one of the first things I do before I do anything else is I do a full system scan to make sure there's no malware viruses. I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I'll jump ahead till that scan's complete. So I'm running a bench test because I'm trying to catch the fan when it kicks on to show you how quiet it is, but it really takes a lot to get it to kick on. There we go, got it to kick on. Let's see if that registers. I know that the external heat is not the same as the internal CPU temperature, but I'm monitoring that through software, so chill out. Our full scan is complete and our system is clean. I did some prep work to get this thing ready to run in my truck. I've also been monitoring the core temps here, and so far no issue even through benchmark testing and other things. Speaking of which, so I did do some benchmark testing, but I've only just recently started reviewing PCs, so the only data I have here is for the HP laptop I bought for my video. I bought the cheapest Black Friday laptop from Walmart. That was a $200 laptop. And then we reviewed the Geekom A5 a few weeks ago. And then now we have the AceMagic. So for the single core of that HP laptop, it actually takes both categories, beating out both of the mini PCs. Why? Newer generation processor, and it is a laptop with better cooling, so it requires less thermal throttling. The AceMagic did come in just under the HP laptop for the single core, and the Geekom A5 came in last on that one. Going down to multi-core, again, HP way on top. The Geekom A5 actually scored better than the AceMagic. You might ask why, since the Geekom A5 has 6 cores and the AceMagic has 12 cores. Well, two things there. One, those 6 cores for the Geekom A5 are performance cores, where those 12 cores are a combination of performance cores and efficiency cores. Also, natively, AMD chips require less power for the same performance versus an Intel chip that requires more power. So because of the form factor being mini PC, the manufacturer is going to throttle down that Intel processor to avoid overheating. Now, you can go in there and change those settings, but you risk overheating. For my specific use case, it's completely fine. Everything's fine, it works nice and smooth. I don't need to go in there and adjust any of those power settings. And another thing that is cool is this same AceMagic comes in a version with an AMD. And if I was actually purchasing it, I would probably purchase this one because it has the Ryzen 7 6800 with the Radeon 680M for graphics, and it also has a 2.5 gig LAN port versus the 1 gig on the K1. And it's actually about $30 cheaper. Why? Because AMD is typically cheaper than Intel. You can also get it in an Intel Core i9, but the one that I'm actually using is this one right here. This is the K1, and it's actually $399 right now. It actually is cheaper. There's a $39 off coupon you can apply, plus I'm gonna put a 10% discount code. That would actually make it cheaper than this one. So there you go. If I was paying full price, I'd probably buy this one. If that matters to you, the AMD over the Intel, you have options. The Intel is fine for what I'm doing today. The only thing I have not tested out is how it performs on gaming, so I will just launch a little WoW real quick and we'll check it out. Works just fine on minimal settings, keeping a constant 60 frames per second. Good enough for me for WoW. Probably not good for any intensive games, but hey, this isn't a gaming PC. And all of my temperatures are still completely fine. All right, I'm gonna move this out to the truck and set it up real quick. All right, folks. Okay, ran into a few problems. One, I've learned I need more practice of recording outside of my office. But two, the mount that I wanted to use that actually mounts back behind here to the dash and then attaches to this VESA to secure it, turns out is the wrong size. So I've had to go with this suction cup mount that attaches to the windshield. It's got a magnet on it. In the back of this monitor, I'll put a magnet ring. So it's actually held here by a magnet and gravity, but it's secure and it's not going anywhere. Not ideal, but I will order the new part to fix that. I want this to look as natural as possible, so I don't want this here showing. I'm going to have one video cable that I'm going to pull out the center console, run it down behind there, and it'll come out and go under the seat. But in order to keep this video manageable, I'm not going to do any cable management right now. So this cable here is going to be the one video cable. The actual unit itself, as you can see here, let's see, is going to go down here in this compartment It's actually under my center console, but it's got rubber grips on the bottom of the unit and in the bottom of this console to keep it in place. There's plenty of room down here for ventilation. This is also temporary, and I'll explain why. I'm only going to use this for one reason, right? I don't leave my house much other than I sit in a carpool lane like 45 minutes a day taking my son to school. So I'm going to use this while sitting there to either be productive and do computer stuff or watch Netflix. What I'm eventually going to do is both the power unit and this PC is going to be mounted under the passenger seat. There's a metal plate under there. Why I say the power unit. And this was also just going to be temporary, was going to use the built-in inverter that I have in my truck to plug this into, but this is not grounded, so it's two-prong. I need three-prong. I could just buy an adapter, but then it'll stick out even more and look ugly, and that was temporary anyway. I'm going to get an EcoFlow River 3 that I can mount under the passenger seat, which will work as both an uninterruptible power supply for this PC, but I also wanted one anyway for long road trips, camping, that kind of thing. Once I have that, I can plug the PC into that and then put the PC in a hibernate mode so that when I get through using it, it just hibernates and it's not getting a hard shut off every time I turn the key off, because that's not good for the computer. I have to power it today, so for today, I'm going to be using this little power inverter to plug the PC into. The PC does not draw much juice. That monitor does not draw much juice, so I'm not worried about either one of those things. The PC will connect to my in-Sony for audio and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and do it real quick. Another reason that power inverter is going to be very temporary is because it is not a pure sine wave inverter. It's not the best for sensitive electronics, but as soon as I finish this video, I'll have the new power system in a couple of days, and then I'll run all these wires and tuck everything in. Okay, I do have a small Bluetooth keyboard that'll be out of the way. I also have a finger mouse that I can use if necessary, but this is touchscreen, so I shouldn't have to use both of them. Now I want to get you a close-up in here so you can see. All right, let me see if I can block out some of that sunlight. Okay, blocked out the sunlight so we can see this screen a little better. To get sound from the PC to my speakers, I need to connect the computer to my in-unit through Bluetooth. So on the PC, I need to go to my Bluetooth devices, go to add a new Bluetooth device. All right, and then on my radio unit here, I'm going to go to settings, Bluetooth, Bluetooth connection, pairing. Okay, I see it. Connect, allow, okay. Connected for mic and audio. Now I need to go make sure. Well, yep, I can hear it through the speaker, so that worked out. Go back to home. All right, so Bluetooth is connected to the PC. Okay, now everything's connected to Bluetooth. I don't need the keyboard or mouse, so everything will be out of the way. I can just navigate using the touchscreen for YouTube. We're going to rip out the garbage, lock down your privacy, and set up your PC. I can watch videos of myself. Or obviously I'll watch more interesting videos, but I can watch my Netflix or any other app I put on here. And once I get this cable ran behind the dash and I get my new mount in that you can't see, it'll look like it belongs here. And as you can see, so I've got my center console down. So the PC is tucked away, and I will be moving it again under the passenger seat once I get the uninterruptible power supply. But pretty cool. And I can also control volume and everything from my in-unit. I can play, pause, all that stuff from here too, so I don't have to worry about navigating menus up here when I don't want to. But there you have it. Mini PC with a 12.1-inch touchscreen monitor. Nice little tech upgrade for my 2009 Dodge truck. And there you have it, the new AceMagic Kron K1 and a nice little upgrade to my old Dodge truck. I'll put links below to the AceMagic K1 and all of the components that I used in today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Also, drop me a comment below for any future video suggestions you have. And do me a favor, please like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel really helps me grow the channel and get me to that 50,000 subscriber goal. You can also take it to that next level and become a member of the channel to help support the channel. Don't forget to check out these other video suggestions, and as always, thank you for watching, and until next time.
Nose.